Okay, today it's homemade coleslaw, and we'll be back. The swinging bridge.
No, I went to the freak out.
What did you do on the freak out?
Ice cream blanket.
Oh my goodness. I would have screamed loud on the freak out.
Yeah, and I went on a swing and went like.
Wow.
And Theo was there.
Theo, you did see him? Did you ride any rides with him? No.
Yeah.
Did you?
Tell Papa what happened about the darts when you threw them at the balloon.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
I went like this. Went to the guy's arm and then bleeding. And
You stuck the guy in the arm?
yeah, then I pop the balloon 2 times and then I get a minion.
You want a minion?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's cool. All right. Now we know everything.
Yep, that's all it.
Okay. That's cool. Okay, so these outer leaves here, I am not going to put in my coleslaw, so I'll save them for rolls. You know what kind of rolls I mean. My aunt used to call them down south when she made them. I never even knew what pigs in the blanket were, really, the true pigs in the blanket, until we moved to Michigan. Now down south, she called it the roll cabbage, like roll up Polish cabbage. She called them pigs in the blanket. Why, I don't know, but you know, I get to Michigan, they're like, what, pigs in the blanket are corn dogs, or the kind you wrap in bread, make it simple. Hot dogs wrapped in bread. Well, I had no idea. I was young. I think, 11. And then, so if you get any big pieces here, peel them off because they'll work perfect for your rolls. Some people, they'll boil them. You know, I don't really see any reason for that. I mean, you can boil the leaves, just they'll take the whole head and put it right in boiling water. And I really, honestly, to be truthful with you, if you got a larger head, I really don't see any reason for that. I just bought a small one because, you know, some of the kids don't eat coleslaw, but I have one that's been begging me, make that homemade coleslaw. I think this whole thing's all leaves. But I'm going to save them leaves. And then I think the rest of this, we can see if this don't break. The rest of this, you know, we're not going to make a big pot of coleslaw. I put this in my buggy and I thought, well, I got it at one of the grocery stores around here, and I needed to find a small cabbage head. I didn't want a huge one. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get any luck out of this one. Oh yeah, maybe. The more the merrier. Like I said, it's not going to be a huge coleslaw. We'll see how what this brings. Look at all them leaves. Why boil it? Why boil it to get the leaves off? I'll boil them up when it's time, and then easy roll. So we're going to cut the head out, or the tail off here. And let me get these leaves put up. I'll put them back in their bags. And those will be ready for Polish cabbage rolls, I should say. My mom always called them, you know, cabbage rolls. She didn't. She was like, oh, don't listen to them. It was my aunt, my family. They, down south, they'd call it pigs in a blanket. And I'm like, what? But they did, I think what they did was pork. They ground pork and put in them. And the onions, they just called it pigs in the blanket. So be it. When I moved to Michigan, I was like dumbfounded. And I'll tell you another little story while I'm cutting this. Because I grew up on an army base, and we got to go to Grandma's a lot, and especially when we lived down the road from her, just when my dad was like in another state that we couldn't go to. My mom moved to a little town where my grandma was, and I need more than that. And we moved from the army base, and then when I came here to Michigan, my mom enrolled me into school and everything, and because she didn't want to deal with us kids. He had 4 boys for quite a while, you know, flying all the way from Europe back. But so I went the first day of school, everybody stared at me. I'm like, everybody. And this one kid, his name's John, he was a good friend of mine. He looked at me and says, what state are you from? And I told him that we moved all over, you know. And he goes, well, you're dark skinned, so did you come from California? I thought in my head, yeah. It was a little lie, but, you know, I didn't know. But anyways, that wasn't the funny part. The funny part was everybody kept staring at me. I couldn't figure out why. And I looked at these kids, and I'm like, what are they wearing? It looked like it was, we call them blue jeans in Michigan. They were blue jeans, and I'm like, I have never, ever seen nothing like that. Never. Even in living in Europe or Germany, we were always kept on the army base, and we had to wear straight pants, straight or plaid clothes, and plaid shirt. So it wasn't plaid and plaid, it was, you know, just plain and plaid. And there was a certain way we all dress. I don't know if it was a dress code or what, but that's the way we grew up, and that's the way we always thought it should be. And finally, a week went by, and my teacher said, hey, Michael, come here. So I went up there, and she goes, you're spelling your name wrong. And I go, it's Micheal. And she goes, you better check with your mother, because I think you've got it all spelled wrong. And so when I went back, I told my mom, I says, I gotta have different clothes. That's all there is to it. Well, my grandma took me out and bought me new clothes. She goes, I had forgotten all about the style up here and the style that you guys come from. So she bought me and my brothers all new clothes, which was really nice. And let me get these out of the way. And I felt so much better about it. But I told my mom, I says, the teacher told me to tell you about spelling my name. And she says, oh, it's spelled Micheal. And I go, well, that's not what she said. She said it's Michael, because they do require a birth certificate here. And my mom says, no. Well, the schools do require, like I said, they require a birth certificate. And she goes, no, it's spelled Micheal. And I told my grandma, I says, Grandma, can you have my mom look at my birth certificate and make sure? And that was like 11, maybe 9. And look at my birth certificate and see how it was spelt when I was born. And she goes, well, what are they saying? And I said, they're saying it's Michael. And she goes, no, that's Michelle. And I'm like, what? And I felt kind of bad, but then my mom, the next day, my mom got the birth certificate out, and she looked at it, and she goes, I am so sorry. I've had all these years, and even having you in the Army school, we never even thought it'd be AEL instead of EAL. And she goes, your teacher is correct. No one ever brought it to my mom's attention. And back when I was born, my father knew how to spell it, Michael, because he called each one of us saints by saint. Like, I have a Saint Francis, which is my brother. All these are my brothers. Saint Michael, Saint Anthony, and Saint Vincent. So we were all named saints. But anyways, all right. So we got this all chopped up. It's probably got some hunks in it. And I'm going to put this in a bowl. And I'll be right back. Now, don't laugh at me. But what I got here is a little mini food processor. It's by KitchenAid. And this thing, I've had this for years. And it works great. I just haven't had no issues with it. And I'm going to see... I thought for sure I had some carrots open. But I'm going to see if it'll do these carrots. I don't remember. I can't remember if I... And the carrots have been washed. It says right on here, washed and washed. So I'm sure they use some kind of special stuff on it. Anyway, so we're putting a few in there. And I don't want to overpower it because it'll probably bog down. I mean, I can use my big one for it. But I figure, you know, this is easy to clean. You know, I can get my shredder out and shred it. There, I think it's done right there. Let's see here. Perfect. If I go too much more, it'll probably turn into carrot juice. Let me go a couple more because I see a couple big hunks there. Okay, that's good. Get our coleslaw back out. Got a few chunks of carrots here. Those will fall on the floor if I don't get this. There we go. That's good for now. Alright, so there's our cabbage. And I don't know if I'm going to add all this because the kids really aren't too fond of carrots in the coleslaw, but I am. So... it's what I want now. My turn. I was gonna make them beef barbecue sandwiches, but I've got too much to do, so I think I'm just gonna make them a quick sloppy joe. I'm using my Spurtle here. I love this thing. I got a mini one too, somewhere around here, and I love that one. That one really works good. But the Spurtle is perfect for getting the little ends out of mayonnaise. Like if you have a little bit of mayonnaise stuck on the jar, all these Spurtles work beautiful. They're even better than the spatulas. I do use the little them rubber spatulas, the flat ones. I do use them, but I'd rather have the Spurtle. Good enough for whom it's for. We'll see if there's any in here, which there is. And I want to get this in the fridge because this takes... I like doing it overnight, having it ready for overnight, but it's going to be a couple hours yet before they're here. So we'll get... I'll wipe that off with a rag. And... okay. And I'm going to add 2 capfuls of apple cider vinegar. 1. Some people put 3 in. I don't know. This is just the way my mom made it. If I had a larger batch, I'd probably put 3 in there. People think apple cider vinegar. Yes. It's actually really good for you, some vinegar, any kind of vinegar. So I'm going to add a little bit of sugar, and add sugar to taste. And then we want salt and pepper. And what I usually do is put a little bit of cayenne in there, but today I'm not gonna. So we'll do 2 scoops. That's probably a tablespoon and a half there of sugar. And then I'll add some salt. Whoops. That's probably 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. It looks like a lot because I got you guys zoomed in. And then I'm going to do some pepper. Yeah, right. If I can open it. It's good for the pepper. Probably overpowered it with pepper. Alright, now the mayonnaise. And I either use Duke's, Hellman's real mayonnaise, or my homemade. And I've got a lot of the Hellman's left, so the kids would rather have, honestly, they would rather have the Duke's or the real mayonnaise. And then their choice would be the real mayonnaise. And then they like the Duke's, and they sell it all over up here in Michigan. So people, I heard someone say, well, they don't sell it up north. Yeah, they do, but you know, that's just the way it goes. I guess a lot of people were requesting it. Okay, so I went ahead and added about half a cup of mayo for now. We'll see what, we'll see what it's like when I get it all mixed up. So let me get this all mixed up and I'll be right back. I don't want to make this a long video. And, you know, mixing, everybody can do that. Okay. Don't have a spoon here, but let's see here. What can I use? I'll take this. And then I'm going to try a little bit here. Just to give it a little taste test to make sure. Perfect. I don't need no more. That is really good. And I can taste the apple cider vinegar. I might add a little bit too much mayonnaise, but actually probably not, because half a cup I think is fine for that little bit, because it's gonna firm up in the, all them flavors are gonna marinate in the fridge, and it might dry up some of the mayonnaise. There's not a lot, as you can see. Looks just like coleslaw, which it is. And this is the way my mother made it. And she would make big batches, not just this little tiny bit. But we're gonna have pork sandwiches, barbecue pork sandwiches one day, and we'll put this coleslaw on it. So this is enough to, you know, to do it for everybody. See how well my stir works? Works beautiful. You guys probably can't see it because, of course, I don't have a wide angle. Alright, so there's that. And there's our coleslaw, friends. We'll get the lid on it. This is an old lock and lock, as you can tell. And part of something there. It's an old lock and lock. But, you know, it still works good. There's marks on it. It's been reused and abused, and it works great. So, alright, there's our coleslaw, friends. Bye.
Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Michigan Mike. Please subscribe and hit that bell icon. Thank you.